What's up, YouTube? I'm here to do my predictions for Cerrone versus Miller. Let's start at the bottom. We got Yan Yo Des versus Gerard Sanders. Yo Des, I know he's mostly a boxer. He isn't the greatest grappler. As where Jared Sanders is a good grappler. Most of his wins are by submission, and yeah, I think Sanders is gonna win this one. I think it's gonna be pretty. I think as soon as he gets it to the ground, he'll take his back or just get an arm triangle or a naked choke. I think it'll be pretty one-sided. I'm gonna pick Sanders by submission. Next we got Hugo Viana versus AJ Sterling. Hugo Viana was on The Ultimate Fighter. He's a really good striker. Fights like Junior Dos Santos, but he fights at 135. AJ Sterling is from Team Sarah. Yeah, he's from Team Sarah. And he looked good in his debut. He slowed down a little bit towards the end, but I think he's a lot bigger, and I think that he'll be able to slow Hugo down. Even though Hugo's a striker, he's only got like 1 or 2 knockouts of his 8 or 9 wins, as where AJ's got a lot of submission wins, and I think that AJ will be able to take him down, wear him out, take his back, and submit him. So I pick AJ Sterling by a rear naked choke. Next we got Leeson Tebow versus Pat Healy. I personally like Pat Healy a lot, but he doesn't do well against higher level people with good takedown defense, and I know he's a grinder and he could finish Gleason in the 3rd, but I just think that Gleason's just too big and too strong. I think Gleason will be able to do what Pat Healy does to other people, but he'll just take him down, beat him up. Pat won't be able to get up. I think it'll look a lot like the fight with Khabib. Yeah. And I think it's minus like the Sambo throws, more regular takedowns, but I think Tebow will be able to take him down, hold him down like he did against Varner for 3 rounds, so I've got Tebow by unanimous decision. Okay, main card. We got Alex White versus Lucas Martinez. Alex White's undefeated. He looked really good in his debut. He got the 1st round knockout, and Lucas Martinez has been in the UFC for a while. I think he's won 2 or 3 straight since his loss to Barboza. I think Martinez has the edge overall in striking, just because I think his style's more Muay Thai, but I think Alex White is more explosive and faster. I think that even though his style is more boxing, I think he'll be able to not clip Martinez. Alex White's undefeated. I've never seen him hurt or anything. Ezra Martinez got knocked out and has been dropped a couple times in the past, so I'm going to pick Alex White by 1st round knockout. Next we got John Lineker versus Alteka Oskolic. This is one of those fights where I think John Lineker should win, but you never know. I think that if Oskolic went in there with a good game plan and he really just tried to wrestle with him, he could probably. I've never seen Oskolic, aside from those last few seconds against, in his last fight, the very end of the 3rd round, I've never seen him really in trouble. I think if he, I think this fight will look a lot like the fight John Lineker had with Luis Gaudinot, where even though he's got a lot of power, I think Oskolic can take a shot pretty well, and I think he'll be able to get takedowns. I think this could be fight of the night, and I don't know who the favorite is. I never know going into these things, but I have a hard time. John Lineker's probably ranked like 6th or 7th in the world, and Oskolic isn't even ranked in the top 15, but I think it's going to be a slight upset. I'm going to pick Oskolic by split decision. Next we got Justin Salas versus Joe Proctor. I think this is going to be, I think after the 1st round it'll be pretty, if it goes out of the 1st round, it'll be one-sided. Joe Proctor, he's shown he has cardio issues kind of when he has to fight at high pace, and Justin Salas, even though he isn't really the greatest fighter, he's been knocked out and submitted before, he has good gas tank and he can keep a consistent pace. And I think if this goes out of the 1st round, Justin Salas will just wear him out in the 2nd and then finish him in the 3rd. So I got Justin South by 3rd round TKO. Next we got Rick Story versus Leonardo Mafra. I don't know. I know that they're just Rick Story was supposed to fight John Howard, but this guy's a late replacement. I think they're just trying to give Rick Story a win, and that's what I think. I think Rick Story's either gonna get the way Rick Story fights, he's either gonna get a really early knockout or he's gonna win by decision. So need Rick Story by either one of those. Next we got Barboza versus Dunham. I think Dunham is one of the most underrated lightweights in the lightweight division. I think he beat Dos Anjos when they fought, but I don't think that this fight could be like the Castillo fight where Dunham just hits him early and then finishes him with ground and pound, but I think it'll be more like the Castillo fight in the rounds 2 and 3. You never know. It could be like the Castillo fight where Dunham just clips Barboza early and knocks him out. But I have a hard time seeing that. I think Barboza is the better fighter, and I think Barboza will win by decision, or TKO from like body kicks or something. Yeah, it's just hard to pick against Barboza in this fight. Next we got Cerrone versus Miller. Another fight that I think could win fight of the night, possibly fight of the year. I feel like when Cerrone comes to fight, he doesn't lose. Whenever he comes and he's not aggressive and he's not trying to just mix it up, that's when he gets his ass beat by people he should not lose. Like when he lost to Dos Anjos, I thought that was a fight he should have won easy, but he just didn't come to fight that night. But then you see the last couple of fights he has been, that fight with Barboza, a lot of people were picking Barboza, but he dropped him with a jab and choked him out. I think this fight will be kind of like Jim Miller's fight with Pat Healy, where Cerrone's just the bigger guy, and his punches are going to do more damage, and he's going to, just because the size difference, I mean, they're both lightweights, but Cerrone's a really big lightweight like Evan Dunham is, and Jim Miller's just a decent, and I think just his overall size and power is going to overwhelm Jim Miller, and I think he'll finish him with a rear naked choke, probably in the 4th. And like I said, with Cerrone it's hard because I feel like he's a guy that could easily be the champion right now, but he doesn't show up to fight every single time, so you never know what Cerrone you're going to get. But if Cerrone shows up to fight, then, like I said, I think this fight will be a lot like the Jim Miller fight, Jim Miller versus Pat Healy fight, where Pat Healy just wore him down and eventually took his back and choked him out in the 3rd. Except I think this will be the 4th, just because Pat Healy was a little bit bigger than Cerrone. So there you have it. That's my predictions. Please like and subscribe, and I will be doing a prediction video for the what is it, McGregor versus Brandao fight. Thank you guys very much.